starts now on Charlotte CW.
Tornadoes and thunderstorms threaten portions of the South tonight as a powerful storm system pushes east towards the Carolinas. The storms have already left a path of destruction in the state of Mississippi. We are tracking those potentially dangerous storms as they move closer to Charlotte. We can have heavy downpours and thunderstorms in just a few hours from now. I'm Will Kennedy. Morgan has the night off. I'm here with WCCB Charlotte Chief Meteorologist Greg Armbrecht. The weather really, truly is going to be a roller coaster for us over the next couple days. And you were telling me just about everything is going to get thrown in here.
Yeah, in the next 12 hours, we'll see some heavy rain, even the chance for thunderstorms.
Greg, thanks. Tonight, more than 80,000 homes are without power from that same system that Greg is keeping an eye on for us. The storms push through portions of Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, ripping down trees and damaging homes there. The National Weather Service has not determined if any of that damage was caused by tornadoes, although multiple tornado warnings were issued, and there have been no reported deaths or injuries. Meteorologist Caitlin Cody will be tracking the storms as they move through in the morning. We'll have your updated forecast on the 4s, all starting at 4:30 on WCCB News Rising. And WCCBCharlotte.com lets you track the storms right down to your neighborhood. Look for that on our interactive radar. Tonight, we know the name of Charlotte's first homicide victim of 2017. Police say 22-year-old Nathaniel Rodriguez was shot in an apartment complex on Monroe Road. WCCB Charlotte's Marvin Beach is live at CMPD headquarters tonight in Uptown Charlotte with more on the rising number of homicides in the Queen City. Marvin? Tonight, an airline is investigating how a baggage handler got trapped in the cargo hold of a plane flying from Charlotte to Virginia. The United Express flight took off from Charlotte Douglas Airport yesterday, landing safely at Washington Dulles International. That's when the handler was found inside the baggage compartment. Fortunately, he was not harmed. The Panther season ends with an underwhelming 6-10 record. Sports director Brandon Davidow here to put a bow on a pretty ugly 2016 season.
But, Will, if there's anything positive...
Hi, Brandon, thank you. A piece of Charlotte music history is closing its doors for good tonight. Music fans are packing the Double Door Inn as we speak for the venue's final show. WCCB Charlotte's Amy Kalman is live in the Elizabeth neighborhood with more tonight. Amy? Not in my backyard. Why people in one Charlotte neighborhood are fighting plans to build a cell phone tower near a school. And a North Carolina man's being called a hero after rescuing a woman from a burning car. What he says inspired him to risk his own life. Keep that umbrella handy. We're tracking rain lasting into tomorrow. This is a live look at Uptown from our AAA City plumbing camera. Greg's full forecast is next. And later on the edge, the panel primed and ready to talk Panthers football with the season in the books. It is time to look ahead to 2017. We want to know, who should the Panthers draft with the 8th overall pick? Tweet me at Will Kennedy News. We could use your comments on air at 10:30. Autopsies are scheduled tomorrow on 4 people found shot and killed in the home in Lexington County, South Carolina. The victims are a 26-year-old woman, her 1-year-old and 4-year-old children, and a man believed to be the children's father. An older child who was not in the home at the time of the shootings is safe. Investigators have not said who they believe is responsible for the deaths, but they are calling this a murder-suicide. CMPD is hoping you can help identify several men who spent the holiday weekend holding up several businesses in Charlotte. Take a look at these pictures. Security cameras were rolling when this man robbed the Rite Aid on Mount Holly Huntersville Road. It happened just before 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. The robber told an employee that he had a gun, then ran off when he was given some money. CMPD detectives are also looking for 3 men who robbed an East Charlotte restaurant, pulling guns on employees inside the Taqueria Express on Albemarle Road just after 11 Friday night. Police say they ran off with some property from that business. If you recognize these guys, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Tomorrow, the York City Council members will consider creating a vicious dog ordinance after a 71-year-old man was attacked by 2 pit bulls last month. The dogs bit Buddy Owens in his own yard while he was putting up his Christmas decorations. He survived. An officer did shoot one of the dogs after he says it charged at him. The dog was euthanized. The dog's owners were cited for violating the leash law. A Carolina man says he was directed by a higher power to help pull a woman from a burning car. Scott Love was working in San Antonio, Texas, where he sells fireworks for New Year's Eve. He had just laid down in bed in his RV that he was staying in on Friday when he heard some noises outside.
The front of the vehicle was completely engulfed in flames, and the fuel had sprayed across so that you couldn't get to the driver's side doors. And every time she opened the door, you could hear the girl inside screaming.
Love and another Good Samaritan managed to pull that woman out of the flaming car. She is now in the hospital but is expected to recover. All right. You're going to be busy? Keep an eye on it for us. Appreciate it.
You got it.
A couple rings in the new year with twins, but their birth certificates are going to have one big difference. And later on the edge, the Panthers are officially on draft watch after finishing 2016 at 6-10. We want to know, who should the Panthers draft with the 8th overall pick? Don't miss the edge at 10:30.
The Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine van leads officers on a high-speed chase, but it wasn't Shaggy, Fred and the gang driving the van.
Was it a ghost? No, it was a woman behind the wheel in Northern California Sunday. Police wanted to arrest her for a probation violation. The woman eventually abandoned the van and is still on the loose.
Maybe it was a ghost.
Rubber Raggy. It happens.
Have you been practicing that all
No,
night?
I've used that many times
waiting?
in my professional career.
Wow. That was good. That was good.
No, it goes back to the sports days.
Okay. Former Panther Charles Johnson has decided where he will suit up next season. Brandon has the latest on where big money is headed.
And later on the edge, the brawny man is now the brawny woman. For sure, right? How the paper towel company is embracing a FemPower moment. Or Fempowerment. Sorry. Tonight at 10. Rubber Raggy. A line of strong thunderstorms that caused major flooding and several small tornadoes in the Texas Panhandle is heading to the Charlotte area. Tonight, people in Tolar, Texas, near Fort Worth, are cleaning up damage from those twisters. Fortunately, those storms are expected to lose quite a bit of their punch by the time they get here. You're taking a live look at uptown Charlotte. If you like today in the Queen City, you'll definitely like tomorrow. If you didn't like today, what's wrong with you? I'm here with WCCB Charlotte Chief Meteorologist Greg Armbrecht. It's been just about perfect.
Yeah, and those storms will eventually get here, but we're probably going to squeeze out another 2 weeks.
It's beginning to look a lot like springtime, right? We're tracking clear skies and temps in the 70s this week. I smell golf on the horizon, right? It's a live look at uptown tonight. I'm here with WCCB Charlotte Chief Meteorologist Greg Armbrecht. People are going to get those shorts out, start dusting that stuff off. You got to tan the legs and the feet, right?
But you know the problem with this is we can never go back. You can't go back to cold now.
Let's not do that.
Everybody's been treated very nicely. Look at these high temperatures in the 60s.
Charlotte CW.
Mariah Carey's crew calls out the production company that handled her disastrous New Year's Eve show.
I miss the competitiveness. I miss the guys. You know, I miss playing.
Plus, former Panther and longtime favorite Steve Smith says he is done playing professional football. So where does Agent 89 rank among the all-time greats?
The less I talk about 2016, the happier I'm going to be about it.
So going for the win.
And with 2016 in the books, Ron Rivera and the 6-10 Panthers say it's time to start thinking about next season. Hello to you, I'm Will Kennedy. Morgan Fogarty is off tonight. Carolina lost the season finale Sunday to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road after deciding to go for 2 and the win in the final seconds. Greg Olsen slipped. Cam Newton's pass fell incomplete. It was just that kind of year. Today was move-out day at Bank of America Stadium as players cleaned out their lockers, but the theme was move on. Carolina will be watching the playoffs at home for the first time since the 2012 season, and the team have lots of decisions to make in the coming month. Players say all they can do is learn from this season.
I think this offseason, you know, we'll spend a lot of time just identifying what those issues were, what caused us to lose some games that, you know, we had positions to win. You know, you look at the way the NFC worked out, 9 wins made the playoffs. You know, that's tough to swallow.
It is a bitter pill for sure. After multiple West Coast road trips in 2016, the Panthers are going to stay closer to home next season. 3 of their 8 home games in 2017 will be against playoff teams. Carolina only travels outside of their time zone twice when they have to go out on the road, so a favorable schedule. And the silver lining of finishing 6-10 this season, if there is one, is securing the 8th overall pick in the draft. The Panthers have needs at several positions. Running back Dalvin Cook, defensive end Jonathan Allen, offensive tackle Cam Robinson. Both of those latter 2 from Alabama are just 3 players the Panthers could consider in the first round. That brings us to our question of the night. Who should the Panthers draft with the 8th overall pick? Let's take it to our panel. Sports talk show host, comedian, a Renaissance man, QCB from the call-up on WFNZ Sports. Kelly Davis, Panthers linebacker Thomas Davis, lucky enough to be married to this lady. She is the executive director of the Defending Dreams Foundation. And former Panthers offensive lineman and current host of the Block 'em Up podcast, Jeff with a G. Schwartz is in the house tonight. You know, it's one of those things that we start talking about the draft pretty early when you're knocked out of playoff contention, and it really was a tough season all the way around. But that kind of is the bright side. We can start thinking about who they should draft, and There's a lot of need positions. We'll start with you, Q. Who do you think?
They need to drive the barber to take whatever Ted Ginn Jr. got going on with his head.
All right, it is time for Edge on the Clock. Back in May, we told you about France's right to disconnect law. That bans companies with 50 or more employees from sending emails after typical work hours. That law just took effect Sunday. Supporters say employees often feel obligated to check work emails after hours, but they're not paid overtime for that. Does it happen to you, Q?
No, I mean, unless you're in a job where you're required to check your email, I don't know how you supposed to get paid overtime for checking your email from your desk.
They don't send you stuff from the radio station?
Oh, no. Me and my man Marvin Ross here from BAB 1019, we trade back and forth, but we talking sports trash, though.
Well, the difference is, though, overseas, especially in France and through Europe, they really try to cut back on people's workload and the pressure, more vacations, more time off. They make you take your vacations. We work too hard here, man. We do.
I love it. I love it. I wish they made a law like that for text messages that, you know, you can only text me between these 12 hours, so then I don't have to feel bad about not responding.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's great.
I'll be all for that.
Hey, we're 2 days into the new year. How many of you already have given up on your resolutions, huh? Research by a private health company found that 63% of people failed to stick to their resolutions in 2015. Nearly half of those surveyed lasted less than a month. Experts recommended making only one resolution. Jeff Schwartz, don't attempt previously failed resolutions.
Zero resolutions.
You don't do any?
No.
You need to make a new one.
If you're optimistic all the time and you try to improve your life all the time, you never need a resolution.
Listen to this guy. That's the way
I do it, man. I'm not making a resolution. I'm trying to better myself all the time.
In that video, it looked like somebody was trying to learn to double Dutch jump on a rope. That's my resolution. I've already failed.
I could never, because my sister and them used to do it. I got like 20,000 girl cousins. I always mess with the ropes. To get in that double, I don't know how we started talking about double Dutch ropes, but commend all them girls is in the double Dutch rope.
Your resolution is to be funny this year? Next on The Edge, the blame game continues after Mariah Carey's disastrous New Year's Eve performance. You already failed. Why Carey's people think she was set up.
Maybe even a little bit of snow late Friday into Saturday.
He said the S word, kids.
All right. Believe me, I hesitate when I say that, but I have to throw it out.
All right, you got to see this. Remember, the camera is always on. A Clemson defensive lineman says he's just being silly when he grabbed an Ohio State player where the sun don't shine at Saturday night's Fiesta Bowl. Whoa. I know, that's a proctologist exam right there. Fortunately for Christian Wilkins, the awkward grab has gone viral on the internet. Wilkins apologized, saying he knows it wasn't a good look, Q.
Man, well, I think he was trying to play scratch and sniff. I don't know what he was doing.
He said he was playing around.
Oh, yeah?
Checking someone's oil.
Ever happened to you? Ever happened to you?
Hey, as an offensive lineman, things happen that we're not proud of.
Hey, nobody's proud of that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
My boy Mike Bell trying to.
If you're up early, watch Rising from 4:30 until 9 a.m. Stay away from me.